Hey, I just wanted to kind of show the setup that I have here, the MIDI setup with a controller, some lights, switching to MobileSheets, which is to watch some lyrics, and a mixing setup for audio that I wanted to just kind of show, see what other people are doing. Um, I'm going to start here, just kind of probably starting off with the light stuff here. And I've been using a program called QLC Plus because it's open source free. I'm on a small budget here. I'm an amateur, just kind of doing my own thing, just playing for fun, maybe an open mic here and there. But there's a the controller here, the lights. I've been wanting to do this, just kind of just, hey, figure out DMX type lighting and stuff. Now there's another program here that I have available on Windows, which I think a lot of people are using, the Obsidian Onyx. And I did get that to work with ArtNet to DMX converter from a place called Freestyler. I don't know what people are using, but I'd be curious to know. But kind of what I have here I started off with a little just test lighting setup here. Just made some different function scenes, just simple. I mean, you can do so many effects, especially with the Onyx program. And I don't have a visualizer set up for this, but basically, just I hit certain notes on here, and I should get lighting set up. I'm gonna vape because I don't have a haze machine, but you can get some pretty cool lighting effects. Actually, you can kind of already see it because I've been doing it, but and I'm just pressing keys here on the keyboard to change these lighting effects. So yeah, so and so I have various lights set up for depending on the notes I'm touching. So that's kind of step one, which is kind of cool. It's using a USB dongle, which is using open source. It was like $5, pretty cheap. The light, of course, was a little more, but not terrible. So let's go on to the next thing. The next thing is Gig Performer, and I use this. I've been using this since I kind of was set up with things a little bit ago. So I have, VST plugins, AU plugins. These are the plugins that make the sounds for the controller, the synthesizer, which I have here. And this is an Arturia Keylab MK88 MK2. But I'll just open this, kind of show you what I have been doing and set it up. So I just have a few songs here listed, and once this opens up here, I can kind of show you how I've set up some of the songs. I've purchased an 80s sound that was done with some of this for some of these things, which I kind of based off some of my stuff, but then I've modified it a lot. So kind of want to go through various things. So we have our song set list, but they're made out of these panels here. And here I'll turn on my cursor, I think. But we have, these various panels and for the songs, and I just put some samples in here. But we'll start off with it. But what I wanted to do was, so I can go through this and show that, okay, so I have this Sunglasses at Night song. I'm going to go through this later. But we have various things wired up. So there's on certain low strings, certain keys. So I'll open this up and we'll see that, hey, for a certain split of the keyboard, we got certain sounds coming in. For this middle one, the delay synth, which we'll get. We're just using another portion of the keyboard, and then we're using the upper part of the keyboard for the high strings right now. If I press anything, we'll see, and I'm pressing on the keyboards now. My lights are working, but because it's based off the MIDI signal that's coming through. But you'll see that it's going through a path here on this to a global rack space, and my global rack space is actually setting a gain. We have a control to see, how much the sound's coming through, and it's relaying that off to gig performer again. So I kind of want to show that. So in order to get to that, to actually hear the sound, gig performer allows a second instance running beside it. So I called this instance mixer, and this is so I can run like backing tracks with my synthesizer sound. So this is running secondary, and the way that I set it up here is I kind of have each sound has various backing tracks or features like lights, automation, lyrics, etc. that it can control. And when it does each of these songs, we also have various things like, I'm going to explain in a bit, but I'm using a 18i20 Scarlett, which is an interface, but it allows a lot of various inputs. And then I also have this smaller Focusrite, which I can take out somewhere. But one of the issues that I first ran into was maybe for an open mic, they might only have mono setup, and I was getting phase cancellation and stuff that I was hearing. So I'm going to make this bigger here, and I'm going to show you that kind of for each song here, we have all the backing tracks, and they're going into a centralized, the global rack, what they call a rack space here. So we do that for each song. We have the backing tracks. We have automation track, which can trigger things to happen at certain times in the code. So if we have our song here, at various times at the song, I can have it automatically like kill the synth, turn it off, switch to different instruments on the keyboard automatically, all based on what time it's happening within the song. So you'll see, I'll show in this part here, like we turn off the synthesizer, and then we switch to a different instrument part, at a different part of the song after the introduction in this Money for Nothing by Dire Straits song. So, and we see that kind of happening right after the intro here, kill the synth, main song. So that's pretty cool with all the automation you could do. You could also set up at various times, like, if I have a song here, at various time here, we can go and say right at this part, I want to change my lyrics, and have that go to the next page. So kind of like a karaoke thing. Hey, if needed, you can have the lyrics up there, and I'll show you that in a bit. But I just wanted to just kind of show, hey, what's possible. So what I was getting at was the stereo and mono here. So we have a stereo part that we can turn on or off. So if I'm mixing this with my smaller interface and we only have mono input, I can switch this to mono and it'll only put out one signal. And I couldn't automate it because the plugin doesn't allow for it. But I can also have a plugin here that changes the phase of things and combines them so that we don't get the phase cancellation, and it all go through that one channel then. So what this is doing in the background is, on my global rack space, this is a bunch of wires that are coming and sending all of my stuff through. So I have my synthesizer mix, I have a live backing track mix, I have the original track mix if I want to play with the original without the synthesizer taken out, and then I have click tracks and a cue mix if I would like to. And those are going to various things like, if I go see this live synth mix, we can see here that the live synth mix is going into an audio out bus control, and that's allowing us to switch from mono or not. So if I actually go back here, if you see this, we see when I push keys here, the paths are lighting up where the sound's coming through. But if I go through and I change this global rack space to stereo, now if I go back to the wiring diagram, we see that it's actually going through a muted section that was turned off or disabled. So if I go look at that again, turn it to mono, I'll see that this is muted, the right channel. So it's a good way that I was able to myself figure out how to deal with the noise cancellation and switching between a single and mono track. And then we also have the ability then to have a monitor mixes, so a synth monitor mix, a drum monitor mix, so individuals can go and have their own mixes, put them in their ear and play along, I guess. So that's what I'm doing. I'm an amateur. I'm not a pro. Musicians probably do this a lot better. I don't know, but this is one way to do it. Kind of what I've figured out thus far. But anyway, pretty cool what we can do. And so the drum, they could have their own mix here and click track and cues if they wanted those louder, original backing tracks, or the live if they wanted to hear everything, or live might be everything without the drums. So if I was going to play with a drummer on the song, I would probably want to play without drums. I would probably want to have, if there's a singer, without lead vocals, and without the original track playing as well. And then the click and the cues are only going to play on the monitors. So kind of cool. Yeah, so yeah, and I have those all available here from this global rack space that allows me to, hey, I want to hear what the synth is, the synth mix is playing. I can play, I can hear the synth is up more. Whereas, if you go to the drums, sorry, that's the wrong one, drums monitor, they're probably going to want to hear the click. And alt maybe that's the singer, and they don't want to hear the synth and everything else. I don't know. So you could basically, by going to this wiring, I can rewire everything to go, like, all monitor wants to hear different pieces. Right now they're hearing they can hear stuff from by backing track or whatever, live synth or the original track. If whatever I had, this is coming in from all those various tracks, I could pass through in here. And it's on the fly. It's really cool. I mean, you just click and drag these and put them where you want to go. And these are all your channels. You can go and add a new one. Let's see, audio mixer. Let's say I wanted another 20 channel mixer. I got a 20 channel mixer here. I can now see all the various stuff in here. So if I wanted this to come in, I can come in here, add my own mix, and be done with it. And control, and then we have all the outputs here on the bottom. I'm going to remove this and delete it. So pretty cool availability to set up. We also have the ability that, okay, I'm switching these songs. I can go and switch the songs, and it's going to switch them on my other one too. Now I've also done that, I believe in here, where I can go in. I'm just looking where it is again. In this rack space, we have scripts here. So any of my keys that I push on the controller, I have rack space, and I'm actually setting the LCD screen on. I don't know if you can see this here, but my LCD screen, probably not, updates when I change the songs on here. So if I go and change the song, I don't know that you can see it, but it changes the song on here. So that means I can put this laptop away. I don't need to be looking at it. I can come in here, and I've also made it so that any of these buttons on here, you can, if you edit them, you can do so much with it. You can say let it be controlled by when I press a certain key on the keyboard. It's controlled. I've done that for a few various things, but one of the things that I've done it for too is song changes. So I can push my song changes here, and we will see that those are updated across the board. Another thing I wanted to point out, so I had a little trouble with this, and I'm doing this on a budget, but I was able to get Bluetooth working to a tablet, so for lyrics. And so this is the audio MIDI setup, and I can go in and look. You can set up Bluetooth. Now this doesn't work all the time, and you have to actually, I'm doing it with a Windows tablet, so you have to remove it every time it's being used. But I have this set up with MobileSheets. And I don't know, I guess if you can see that, but I have the various songs here on MobileSheets. So, and it's a great tool. It can do sheet music, whatever. So I can come up here and, I'm using this for other things. So I can bring up, the sheet music here, and it has the various songs. But for my specific use here for this, let's just say that I wanted this to be, I just brought it up, and this is a tablet, so I can take this, and this is running on Bluetooth, and what I was going to say is if you need to reattach it, it doesn't reconnect automatically. Bluetooth is a pain, it's probably not stable, but for lyrics, if you need to, you can go and change it with your finger if you had to. But it can change, like I said earlier, with the automation by automatically changing at different points in the song and sending MIDI signals, and that'll change this. So, for example, if I'm in here, I can change my song, and it automatically wirelessly updates this. So, pretty darn cool. I don't know how much I'd trust that. I think you'd want to do something more with maybe a Wi-Fi MIDI. I don't know. I don't know what people are doing for that kind of stuff, but this is a possibility. It's just asking for trouble, and again, there's a lot that can go wrong. So, kind of just to show everything here, we have this set up. I'm just trying to get some haze going. So I have this set up, and when I hit a key on the keyboard, it'll start my backing track and everything like that. So I think I've done this before, but just I'm going to switch this to use my audio. Hopefully you can hear it. I guess I can't change it. You'll just hear it through the microphone, I guess. But let's try it. See what happens. So I have this, one of the things is a sustain pedal that I have with the keyboard, and that'll trigger a couple things and some sparkling of the lights. So that's also happening kind of too. So let's see what happens. Start it. Oh, hang on. I got something wrong. I'm hearing click track. That's not what I wanted. I changed some setting. Oh. Okay. I'm just going to turn it off for now. Hopefully that works. is a kill. Now it's going to switch. There it switched my instrument for me. Pretty cool, huh? Sorry, I get too excited. Anyway. All right, you get the idea. So, I'm gonna stop this. So the same thing goes true with, the sunglasses at night. I kind of do the same deal. And you really see the lights. So the lights are all synchronized. I had the words somewhere if I knew where I put them. So you get the kind of, and I got the click that I'm hearing on the right side. That's because I changed one of the wire settings, but that's okay. So it's cool that we got the lights. Anyway, so you kind of get the point. Obviously, I'm not a professional piano player, but you get the idea. I hope this was helpful. What are you guys doing for your sets? I was wondering about the haze too. Like, how many of the bars, how many of the venues, how many allow it? Even for like an open mic type thing. Is that something you'd have to have approved? I hear about fire alarms, things like that. They could be affected by it. So I'm curious. I'm also curious about what lighting software people are using. And what do you think about the gig performer and the automation? I think it's pretty cool. If you're using things like backing tracks to play with. Let me know your thoughts. Take care. Bye.